Welcome to Real Life with Jennie. My name's Jennie Sanaparatna. Grab your favorite drink, get yourself a snack, and we will get started. Today I have peach mango tea, one of my faves. Absolutely love it. I just was like, this morning I needed something like that. And I found these. I don't know if you've ever had them. They're the sour cream and onion Ritz. And I found them in individual packs. I'm so excited because you know what? I can never finish a full box. That is just not how life works. You know, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's get real. So if you are tuning into this, you're like, first of all, your glasses are different. Yes, they are. These are my bifocals. And so sorry if there's a glare or if it's weird, just life is happening right now. And I have to tell you, it's been just one of those days that I'm like, Lord, I need you. I need you, Lord. And you're also going, where's your microphone? Well, guess what? I am doing a separate podcast on this video and then I'm going to record because I've kind of found that I can't do both. I can't do the video and the podcast at the same time. I'm feeling super distracted. I'm either looking at you or I'm not, and things are just getting a little crazy. So changing things up, we'll see how it goes. Let's see how this works. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about something that maybe for me is a bigger deal than it is for you. I don't know. We're about to find out. But I went to this huge retreat last weekend, 3,000 ladies. I gave out free tea because I love tea and I wanted to share a smile. That was kind of my heart. And had my podcast on the back. Anyway, went really, really well. And we drove home and I am exhausted. I am just completely wiped out. We get in the house and my daughter is here home from school, which is so exciting, but also very exhausting all at the same time. You know, you're dealing with I suppose she's been at school for 8 weeks now, 8 weeks of emotions. And she's like, you had no food in the house. And I'm like, no, because we haven't been home for weeks. And it was just a very emotionally draining moment. So Sunday morning we get up and we're going at life. And about 1 o'clock, she needs to get back to school because she's got a whole project due and it's this whole thing. And I will be honest with you, whoever's listening, I just said ladies, but there could be gentlemen listening too. I wanted to get under my covers and hide for 6 weeks. I was like, can I be the groundhog, see my shadow, and then go back? I just wanted to hide. I was so tired and worn down. And God tapped me on the shoulder and said, there's a friend that you need to go meet with. And so I had already kind of said if things were going okay, we should meet. I kind of thought, I'm not going to be okay. I'm going to be exhausted because I am an introvert. I know that a lot of people fight with me on that all the time because I like people. Being an introvert doesn't mean you don't like people. Being an introvert means you recharge under your covers. That's what it means, that you recharge under your covers. And so I went out with my girlfriend. And as I was when I was picking up lunch, I was trying to make this decision because my daughter was like, can we have lunch? And I was like, of course we can have lunch. And so I'm driving there, and my husband, a couple days before that, had gone through his to-do list. And he said 5 minutes of silence was something he needed to do. And I was like, I could do 5 minutes of silence, challenge accepted. If you know my husband, he is just one of those men that is just like him and God walk together. They're tight, guys. They're tight. And I want to be that. I want to be more like Jesus, not more like my husband, more like Jesus. And so I was like, I can do 5 minutes of silence, of course. So I turned off my radio in my car. I knew it would take me about 5 minutes to get there. I didn't call anyone. I just said it. I just drove my car. And as I was doing that, God brought something to my mind that I'm going to share with you. And it was Gideon. And I was like, Gideon? That's a weird thing to bring up right now because Kevin and I had kind of talked about Gideon earlier, and about how, you know, they lapped up the water and who he chose. And it was like this whole theological thing that Kevin was talking about. And so I'm like, is that why I'm thinking about this? And God's like, no, I know that you're Gideon right now. And I was like, what, like, I really don't want to lead a war. Like, I'm good. And he's like, I just felt like he was like, no, you want to hide in the grain. Things are rough. Things are tough. Things have been exhausting. We've been running full speed for almost a year now. We've been at our home church twice because we've been so busy, which is, God, thank you for that. Like, it has been amazing, but I'm exhausted. And I want to hide in the grain, like Gideon. You know, things were crazy for Gideon. There were, it was in the midst of, the enemy would find a field and burn it down just for kicks and giggles. Like, it was just not a safe time in Gideon's time. And I completely understood that when God was like, you want to be Gideon. You want to be hiding. And at that moment, he reminded me of what happened to Gideon. Gideon was hiding. Things were crazy. Things were horrible. It was a scary time. Like, Gideon was not out and about, like, looking for problems or even looking for God. And an angel came and said, hey, mighty man of valor. And yesterday, as I wanted to hide, I felt like God said, hey, mighty woman of valor, get up. I've got a plan for you. And I don't know what's going on in your life right now. I don't know what's happening, but I do know that that was a word more for you than probably for me. Hey, mighty woman or man of valor, I see that things are hard, but I want to use you anyway. And I know that you're afraid, and I know that you're scared, and I know that you don't feel equipped, and I know that you're going to question me at every turn, but I have a plan, and I want you to follow me. And yesterday, as I was driving to pick up Chipotle, Jennie, God called me a mighty woman of valor. It's time to follow me, and let's go do this. Now, what does that mean? I felt like it meant I needed to go out with my girlfriend instead of crawling under my covers. Even though I didn't have the energy, I didn't have the bandwidth, I didn't have the right words, I didn't have any of it. I had none of it, but I was obedient and I went out with my girlfriend. And it was very refreshing and wonderful, and it was fabulous. But I think so often we think we have to have all the answers, and we have to have all of the right things to say, and we have to be equipped, and we have to, and you look at Gideon, and Gideon was not equipped. Gideon questioned. That's why we had the fleece, right? Where he put the fleece out, and it was supposed to be dry, and then the fleece out, and it was supposed to be wet, and, you know, the ground was wet, the fleece was dry, the ground was dry, the fleece was wet, you know, that kind of thing. Because he wasn't sure. He had an angel show up and call him a mighty man of valor, and he still wasn't sure that this was a good plan, because the fear ran deep. The fear ran deep. And so I just want to encourage you that you may be like, I have started this journey, Jennie, and you've been like, hey, God's got a plan for you, and he is calling me a mighty woman, mighty man of valor, and I'm not seeing it. Like, I am not seeing any good things going on here. I'm just not seeing it. And when I do get things together, like Gideon pulls thousands of people together to fight this battle, and God goes, yeah, there's too many of them now. You're like, okay, wait a minute. Like, I just worked my tail off to get all these ducks in a row, or all these people in a row, and all of a sudden you're going, no, get rid of some of them. What? Like, I don't need that. I don't, like, I need these people. Like, I'm not equipped for this. And God's like, no, get rid of them. And so the plan that you put in place following God is all of a sudden like disrupted and crazy. And you're going, I do not like this. Like, Lord, I don't want to get rid of the people that are lapping the water incorrectly according to you. Because it was lapping with your hands or lapping like a dog. I'm not going to do it because that would be weird. And you're like, why do I get the smaller of the two? Like, can I take the ones that, weren't, do you know what I mean? And that's kind of our life. We're just going, Lord, like I am following, you said I was a mighty woman of valor. I am not sure. Like, I am just not sure that's the truth. And I'm going to question you, and I'm going to question you, and I'm going to question you. And I'm going to make a plan, and you're going to go, let's change it. And I'm going to make a plan, and you're going to go, let's change it. And I'm going to be halfway through going, this is right. Am I a mighty woman of valor? And I just wanted to remind you this morning that it's okay to question. It's okay to be scared in the midst of your journey and in the midst of your, what are we doing with my life? It's okay to question God. It's okay to ask him questions because he's strong enough to handle that. God is not going to turn his back on you. He sent an angel and he performed the miracles for the fleas and he walked him through the picking of the people and he came in the crunch and they won in such a miraculous way. And you look back and you go, wow, Gideon was amazing. No, he wasn't. His God was. And he questioned him the whole way. There's some people that you see and you're like, oh, they never question God. Like they've got it all together. They don't. Maybe they do. I don't know. That's not for me to say, I suppose. But even if you're questioning him, God still calls you a mighty woman or a mighty man of valor. And so I want you to go after what he's called you to do, even though it may not make sense. And it's okay to question him. It's okay to say, Lord, where are you? You called me down this path, and now I am in the midst of chaos. I was hiding. I was under my covers. I was doing just fine. And now look at what's happening. This doesn't make sense. And let God show up. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Nice, short, sweet. But I just wanted to encourage you, mighty woman, mighty man of valor, that God sees you and he's got a plan. Even though maybe you're following that plan, it's okay to question him. It's okay to go after him. It's okay to know that God's going to win. His plan is going to prevail. We just need to continue to step out and be like, Lord, I will follow you, but I do not understand this. Well, you can find me at Real Life with Jennie on Instagram and on Facebook. You can also support this podcast by going to buymeacoffee.com/reallifewithjennie. Thanks to those who have already given. And I just really appreciate your generous heart. It's just so sweet and fabulous. Such a blessing to me. I've also revamped my website at christconnection.cc/Jen or Jennie. You can do both work. So just excited about what God's up to. When God comes and meets you under your covers, it says, come out, stop being afraid. I've got something. Let's go after it. And then you're going after it and things get chaotic and wild and you start questioning. It's okay. It's okay. Because our God is faithful yesterday, today, and forever. You all have a great week.